Good morning, Dennis Weiss, Eagle Communications. Welcome to our town. We're in Hillsboro this morning at Tabor College, Sherry Fleming Performing Arts Center.
That's right.
Correct name? We know the first two, Sherry Fleming name.
Is that right?
That's right. It's a long time associated name here in this part of the world. Gregory Zelke.
That's
correct?
Right.
All right. You're the director here.
The Director of Performing Arts.
Director of Performing Arts. The camera will not show the scope and scale of this building. Hopefully sometime we can just drag it around on a cart and show people what's inside here. So we're going to have to do with our conversation today. But what a magnificent building for a magnificent reason you have here, Greg.
The facility is world class, and we have tremendous capabilities with the facility and with just being able to accomplish so many new things with the new auditorium, with the Black Box Theater, with the different events that we can host here. And all of that is now matching the world-class education that a student can receive in the performing arts here.
So you would have no real reason to know this, but I run the commercial sales division at Eagle Communication, business-to-business sales. Tabor College is one of our earliest customers. When we acquired this area, when we bought it back in 2005, I sat down with your IT group, and we formed a way to put fiber through Hillsboro and connect Tabor College to the World Wide Web at the speed of light. You've always been one of our very best partners, Tabor College, and this entire Hillsboro community. So it's of no surprise to us. We have had your art on our camera for years and years. I think we always filmed the Messiah. And so the program here, as you said, has always been outstanding, but you've never had this building before.
When you have a new facility, it really attracts attention like you wouldn't believe. I mean, people have come to Hillsboro, Kansas, and Tabor College because of this space that maybe would have never chosen to come to an event here. And that's really exciting. Usually, you know, when you go to a concert, most of the people that we see in the auditorium or at an event are faces we recognize.
Sure.
But now, for the first time, there are many, many that would come to our events that had never been on our campus before.
I get to get my plugs in early in the program. So again, you would have no way of knowing this, but our show has always been about economic prosperity, economic development, economic reinvestment. We're setting in an amazing economic reinvestment of the donors and the supporters of Tabor College in the Hillsboro community, and in fact the entire region. This building shows that small town America can reach forward, reach up, and create great things.
Yeah, and I think Tabor more and more is just embracing this idea that we are a rural campus, and that is a strength.
It is.
It is not to be seen as a liability, but it is a strength. And I know when I talk to my colleagues in the music here and the theater, they see it as an advantage as well, because students can come here, and what else will they do but practice? Yeah. You know, you're not living in Kansas City or someplace else, and so students have the opportunity to kind of remove all the distractions from their life and really devote themselves to learning their craft, learning to sing, learning to play the piano, learning to play their instrument. It's a cool environment when you think of it from that perspective.
I would agree. I analyze you as a business, and I say you have an incredible opportunity to offer the one thing that all great achievers has, which is focus.
Yeah.
Focus is the key to success for all high-performing achievers.
Yeah.
Well, what you just said means you're offering students from anywhere that come a great opportunity to focus on learning and focus on greatness in their chosen craft in the performing arts.
Yeah. So we hope to obviously now fill this space with students, and the vision that President Glanzer has kind of shared with us and perhaps beginning to shape in all of our minds is to literally double and perhaps more than double the number of students that are participating in the performing arts here at Tabor College, whether it be the choirs or the instrumental ensembles, the symphonic band, the music theater, the theater program, our contemporary Christian music program. All of these have tremendous opportunities now because of the new facilities. We're just now putting together a recording studio.
Really?
And it'll be state of the art. And so it's pretty exciting what students might have the opportunity to do right here on the Tabor campus.
You know, you kind of gave us the tour here through your description, but I want to focus you in on, as I turn my head and look, I can see names and descriptions of things up on the wall in big letters, meaning donors, I presume, but there are also features of your program. As a young lady walks by carrying what instrument?
That's a French horn.
French horn, there we go. So off to do great things around the corner down the hall.
That's right.
So take us through the skills that students learn here to take out into the marketplace.
Well, let's begin with the space itself. I mean, there's the main auditorium and called Rickert Auditorium, and it is a 833-seat facility with really wonderful acoustics, designed specifically to be adjustable. That was a little bit counterintuitive there, but for some events, having a really more ambient, or might say resonant acoustic is more appropriate. Particularly choral music and concert band. But other types of events need a much more of a studio, you know, a dry acoustic one that enables for speakers to be more clearly heard, perhaps, like a play or a musical, or even the types of music that you might have amplification needs, a rock band or something like that. You'd really want much more. And so the facility actually can accommodate that with movable panels, with a reflective surface and a more of a absorptive surface. And of course, the stage is equipped with all the necessary rigging for flying in scenery.
I walked through your fly space when I was here on a tour early on. I was amazed. The fly space is bigger than Great Plains Theater's entirety of operation in Abilene. So we were a bit jealous, but it didn't last long because you're right down the road.
And so the capabilities in that auditorium are not even touched yet. I mean, just
so I want to explain to the camera. We just learned what the difference between a run-of-the-mill appreciator of the arts and a professional in the teaching and the instructing and in managing of the arts is, as you described, your tunable auditorium and why that's important. So for the camera, it's important that it's built and it's right there. But it's also important that you're here to take advantage of the opportunity to let the sound be better appreciated for the people in the seats, the ultimate customer, the people in the seats, maybe the children, they're their children, they're their grandchildren, or simply your business community who looks at you bringing people into Hillsboro and says, this is good.
And having the opportunity for students to learn in that environment is really wonderful, because the skills that they learned, not only in those that are performers, but also students can come and be trained in the technical side of theater.
So my daughter's up in Iowa right now on a 2-month contract at a theater up there, stage managing and interface with tech. I've learned a whole new body of knowledge in the last 4 or 5 years with my wife and daughter about what really makes theater go behind the scenes. There's so much technology and so much learning about sound, sight, movement. Really cool.
And I guess the secret in theater is that if you want to be on stage as a performer, you're less likely to get paid. If you want to be, if you want to be backstage as a technical director, a stage manager,
right.
a light designer,
yeah.
then you get paid.
There you go.
Like,
so we've just saved somebody, hopefully, a lot of money and ensured a much brighter future
right.
for their children by saying there is a way to come here and learn things that you get paid for.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in addition to the Rickard Auditorium, we also have what is called a black box theater,
right.
which is a more intimate space,
okay.
and it's ideal for training in the area of straight plays and many other types of more intimate
okay.
theater in the round, perhaps, or those types of things. And so we're excited to be able to have 2 spaces for students to perform.
That's very cool. So because of the tour and because of when I went to the restroom a while ago, my ear told me there are practice rooms.
Yes.
And I walked
yeah.
in one, and they are just as professionally set up as your theater.
Right.
They're meant for the goal of practice.
Yeah, so the spaces have, we have plenty of spaces for all of our students to spend time in the practice room, because that's obviously where the rubber meets the road when it comes to focus and developing their skill.
So how many students are we putting through the program this semester?
I think we have almost 30 that are involved okay. in music and theater, and of course there's some crossover there. And there's almost 100 students across campus that are involved in performing arts.
Sure.
And that's really the number that I was mentioning earlier, that we want to double, or maybe even more than double, the number of students across campus, because all of these opportunities are available to all of our students. It's not just the ones that are majoring right. in music
right.
or majoring in theater, but all of the students should have the opportunity to develop some way.
I'm confident you and I share this opinion that music and the performing arts enriches everyone's life. That is yes. part of it, or sets in the audience and participates that way. But yeah. as a college, people that come here for some other discipline have the opportunity for their life to be enhanced by this
yeah.
building just as much as somebody who
yeah.
came here to be enrolled as a performing arts major.
Yeah.
It's because it's here, and it's because the program is here. It's one of the soft things in economic development, quality of life people talk about.
Exactly.
But really, in economic development, it's almost everything, because quality of life covers roads, bridges, streets, police protection, all of that.
Yeah.
But quality of life, when somebody is deciding to move their wife and 3 children to some place, this is quality of life that will turn that engine and make it go to
yeah.
Hillsboro, Kansas.
And so much of what you're reading in leadership training and kind of in the area of what employers perhaps are looking for is it's not necessarily the ability to add and subtract, but the soft skills of,
right.
of developing collaborative and relationships with another person, working well with another person. And I'm a very strong advocate for students to be in, especially in choirs. I'm a choral director, so for students that are in choirs, I mean, that is such a wonderful place to really learn what it means to truly collaborate, because when people sing together, they learn to listen to one another in ways, and perhaps that skill then translates into personal relationships and their business relationships.
So would you like to help me do something great today?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to change the language today.
Right.
Language means things, right?
Yeah.
We're going to change the language today. The entire business community uses the term soft skills.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here listening to you, knowing exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Use it myself. But I'm thinking, while I'm listening to you in this place, in this interview, no, these are the critical skills. They're not soft skills at all.
Well, that's true.
Soft means lesser somehow.
Yeah.
These are the ones that make or break you in job performance.
Yeah.
These are the things, as long as you're dealing with humans, that are absolutely vital for success. You can learn how to turn a computer on and wiggle your fingers almost any time.
Yeah.
But that coexistence in a prospering world of human-to-human interaction, that is the thing that stands between us. So you're teaching and giving people the most critical skills for their future success.
I will help you change the language then.
We're on a mission.
Yeah.
We're on a mission then.
Yeah, because those skills, I think, are differentiated from the other types of skills that you might learn, as you said, but they are so critical in that if you're making somebody's job miserable because of the way that you're treating them, it really makes it hard to have a good unified environment to work in.
And Tabor College is a Christian college.
Yes.
I can't think of what Dr. Glanzer told me, very smooth in the interview I did with him a few years ago, but there's a tagline for Tabor. It says distinctly Christian, distinctly something, I don't remember what it is.
Distinctively Christian.
Okay, so distinctively Christian has a meaning as well, right? So as you look at developing people who can work together with other people, well, that's also a distinctively Christian thing, not exclusively Christian, but distinctively Christian. Kindness, treating others well, that's the gospel. So from there, I want to remind, this is a product we have here. This is a place, this is an institution looking for more customers, students. It's distinctly Christian, and that means distinctly to increase your ability to do good things for the right reason, including working in whatever chosen tech field you might like, but being the best at it.
That's right.
Distinctly Christian.
And students and parents that would choose to send their students to a school like Tabor, where the education has what we call a Christian integration, or that Christian worldview integrated into every field of study.
Right.
And certainly that helps them to prepare, I think, for a job, but it also helps them to prepare for a calling. Because even if you're a physician, it doesn't necessarily have to be a job that is in the ministry field or in the ministry world, but it helps our students, I think, prepare and get a mindset that prepares them to take on whatever their calling is, and know that it's not just a job, it's not just a career, but it is truly a farther, more broad way of looking at what they're called to do.
I have been told in other conversations here with other people that the Tabor student, when they leave college, they owe less money to people for their education. And it's a statistic you measure here. It is, so while tuition is relative to other people's like this, but at the end of the day, when you get a degree at Tabor, you leave here owing less money. And that's something that's important to Tabor.
That is very important.
That's distinctly Christian too, I might add, you know, debt slavery. So that's a great thing that happens here. I'm thinking ahead and my brain runs kind of too quick sometimes, but so Tabor's distinctly Christian. I think we could add a word to the front of that. It's still distinctly Christian. Lots of our largest college names were started as Christian institutions. Tabor was started as a Christian institution. It's still doing well, strong in the Christian tradition of learning. Very cool. Where do you come from?
So I'm from Kansas. Grew up actually not far from here. My dad was a music teacher. So I kind of
That's a great tradition.
Grew up in that world and fell in love with that. I attended Tabor. And then did graduate school at Wichita State and also at UMKC. Began teaching vocal music in public schools. Wichita and also in Sabetha, Kansas. Northeast. Began working on a doctorate, and with the hope and the goal in mind of being a university professor. So And so fortunate.
So it's working out for you.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, but for the past 27 years, well, previous to coming here, so I've only been here for like 8 months now.
Right.
Yeah, very new. Back in Kansas and back in Hillsboro and back at Tabor College. But it was in Omaha, Nebraska. So that's where we raised our 2 girls.
Okay.
And my wife's also a music teacher. She teaches K-5 elementary music.
Here?
No, she's still in Omaha.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
we're going to have to fix that.
So we will be fixing that. She's actually retiring, and we'll be moving here this summer. So we'll get even more. So the transition has been kind of slow, but now we'll be all completely here this summer.
Well, life is complicated.
Yeah.
Success doesn't always come on day one. You have to work your way through to it. So I think of some other things I saw on my tour. I did see a brand new ceramic studio back over this direction
we have
somewhere.
Wonderful studios for ceramics and for graphic design and for painting and all of those areas. Fabulous faculty, in fact, world-renowned faculty, Shin Hee and Derek Ham are really, really talented, and their students excel in many ways. So we're really proud of what they're doing. And in addition, we have our first-time art gallery right in this space. And the Ebel Art Gallery is now featuring a beautiful exhibition by Ray Darks, a Canadian artist, called Along the Road to Freedom. Unfortunately, it's to be taken down this next week, and so we're at the
Then I better look at it while I'm here.
So it's been here for about a month and a half.
But I'll bet there's another one following.
And so the next one will be installed, and I believe it'll be a student, Tabor student.
All right.
So each year we'll have a cycle of things. We'll have a kind of a international or nationally known artist that will have an exhibition. We'll usually have a faculty exhibition and perhaps an alumni. So there'll be kind of a cycle of things that will be in the Ebel Gallery, and it's always open to the public, free.
Oh wow!
And so it's really terrific.
Well, we're right down to the out of time sign. Dave gave me the 2 minutes about 1:45 ago. So thank you for bringing us here.
I appreciate it.
We'd love to come back sometime and get some of the content out of the auditorium, whichever facility, things that you can use. We'd love to help you tell the message that a great education for students looking for the product that Tabor offers. Wow, what a place to learn it in right here.
Yeah.
So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the stage one of these days, introducing one of your great performances.
Absolutely.
Okay. For Eagle Communications, I'm Dennis Weiss. This is Greg Zelke. He runs the Sherry Fleming Performance Arts Center and all the great things going on at Tabor College in Hillsboro. We wish you a great day.